Good afternoon, good evening, depending from the part of globe you're hearing my voice. I hope you're all super ready to face a brand new day. Or maybe you're sleeping, or maybe this is supper time for you. Wherever you are, I'm wishing you great times ahead, wishing you a beautiful new month. And I'm hoping, super hoping, that this month would become a great one for me and you. Fellow Biafran lovers, freedom lovers, men of goodwill, and women of peace. It is with a great pleasure that I tell you that our maximum leader, Nnamdi Kanu, has really decided that this time around is not a time, to play games. It's not a time to make friends. It's not a time to, begin to, beat about the bush or begin to ask for, talk about unnecessary discussions, unnecessary rigmarole. Mr. Our maximum leader, Nnamdi Kanu, has decided to call a spade a spade. He has decided to be forthright. He has decided to be decisive. He has decided to take the bulls by the horns, especially, of course, when he realized that the Nigerian government, the Nigerian, so-called administrators, the cabal in Nigeria want him dead. Of course, when he discovered that his health challenges were deliberately swept under the carpet, when he discovered that a whole lot of people were laughing and mocking at his health condition, hoping that it would get to the worst, hoping that, of course, he would die from there. Because it seems, of course, there's a hope, there's an aspiration, yes, there's a decision, yes, willy-nilly to make sure he doesn't survive this country. Ladies and gentlemen, Nnamdi Kanu has said, as it is now, I don't care what anybody says about me. I don't care what the implications are. What I'm going to do is that henceforth, I'm going to, yes, defend myself. Defend myself because I'm tired of paying attorneys, paying lawyers, paying highly, celebrated lawyers to represent me. And at the end of the day, they don't want to say what I want them to say. They don't want to hear what I want them to tell the Nigerian government. They don't want to speak for me like I want them to speak for me. I'm tired of people painting around, beating about the bush, glamorizing what should not be glamorized. I want a situation where, yes, when I pay you, you tell the authorities what I told you. Yes, that's the way. That's the reason why I pay you the enormous amounts I pay. And so because of this, he has discharged. He has completely, yes, told his attorneys to go their way, go their ways. I want to represent myself. And he made this very clear at the, High Court under the judgeship of Justice James Kolawole Omotosho. He told him to his face, sir, with all due respect, henceforth I want to represent myself. Henceforth I want to speak for myself. Henceforth, since you say Nigerian government doesn't want to respect the rule of law, since you say your court does not want to pay respect to over 3 different rulings and decisions of senior judges in this land, who said, I don't have any case to answer, who said, I've been discharged and acquitted, who said, the manner of my kidnap and abduction from Kenya was completely illegal, who said, because of the criminality of the way and manner that I was brought into this country, Nigerian government should not try me, because ab initio, they were standing on a very criminal foundation, and nothing criminal can beget anything good or productive. Nothing criminal can be accepted in the judiciary. Nothing criminal can, of course, be used as a point of reference. So maximum leader Nnamdi Kanu told Justice James Kolawole Omotosho to his face, I don't need anybody to represent me anymore. I've seen that Nigerian judicial system has become a mockery of justice. I've seen that Nigerian government have become completely pathologically psychotic about my case. Everybody, every one of them wants me DOA, dead on arrival. Every one of them seems to want me to be convicted at all costs. And so look, I'm going to face the bulls, take the bulls by the horns. Hence what I'm going to represent myself. I'm going to call the people who would be witnesses for me. I will bring them here, and he mentioned several names, powerful names, amongst the political hierarchy, amongst the business echelon, amongst the even all spheres of human endeavor. He said, I'm going to call them. They should come here. Tell me what has happened. Tell me what I know has happened. And tell me what the Nigerian people know has happened, which they don't believe has happened. I want them to come here and tell the whole world how I was criminalized, how I was kidnapped, how I was abducted from Kenya. I want them to tell the whole world how they raided my father's house, where they unleashed all manners of mayhem, killing, raping, wounding, bombing, and destroying my magnificent house in the village. Let them Tell me how my father and mother were stampeded to their deaths because, of course, they attacked me brutally from all corners. I had to run for their life. He told Justice James Omotosho, I'm ready for whatever it is that is going to happen. Because, of course, 3 courts of the land, 3 high court judges have set me free. I don't know why I'm still in detention. I don't know why I am still being tried. Why are you trying a man who has been discharged and acquitted? Why are you putting a man in detention who should be walking free like any other person? Why is my case different from Sunday Igboho's case? Why is my case different from the Niger Delta militants, including the ones that were headed by Saru Dokubo, including the ones that were headed by Henry Oka, including the ones that had, people who have said so many things to, against this country, and nobody did anything to them? Why is it that someone like General Theophilus Danjuma can tell his people to defend themselves? Tell them boldly when they attack you, when Fulani jihadists attack you, when these bandits attack you, when these terrorists attack you, face them. Get whatever you can get. If it's a stick, if it's a machete, if it is a hoe, if it is a shovel, take something. If it's a pestle, take it. Most important thing is defend yourself. Don't be defenseless. Nigerian government has failed us. The police have failed us. The military has failed us. Take the bulls by the horn. Face them one-on-one. If you have access to a gun, shoot and defend yourself. That was a General Theophilus Danjuma, still alive today, still healthy and strong, telling his people, yes, telling his people to do, the needful. Nobody arrested him. Nobody's trying him for terrorism. Nobody has tried Sunday Igboho for terrorism. All these people are walking free. But because me, Nnamdi Kanu, I was bold to face the Nigerian government and tell them to the face that you are treating my people badly. You are treating them like a hopeless people. You are treating them like a subjugated people. You're treating them like people who have no future. You're treating them like defeated people. You said the war was over in 1970. You said after the 1966, 67, 68, 69, 70 war. You said after over 5 million Biafran children and elderly were killed due to malnutrition, due to government useless attacks, due to senseless attacks and shootings and bombardments. Yes, because you killed over 4-point-something million of us. You said the war was over. You said no victor. You said no vanquish. General Gowon is still alive today, then head of state. Why are my people still being subjected to humiliation? Why are they being sublimed? Why are they being shortchanged? Why are they treated like an unwanted people? Why are you treating my people like this? If you don't need them, if you don't want them, if you no longer need them in Nigeria, brace up. The amalgamation was in 1914. 2014, Nigeria was already 100 years. This was something Lord Lugard, late Lord Lugard and his co and co thought would be, let's just try this out. Let's work this out. If we amalgamate the South, Northern and Southern Protectorate, if it doesn't work in 100 years, they should all walk away. Nnamdi Kanu told them, as at 2014, Nigeria was already 100 years old, and it was glaring, it was evident, it was super obvious that of course the center cannot hold, that of course what they had was an apparition, was a mirage of a country of different nationalities who had different levels of motivation, different levels of intellectual achievement, different religious backgrounds, and who could never be subsumed into one coherent united nation. It was obvious. You don't put round peg in a square hole. It was obvious. You don't put a square peg in a round hole. It was obvious there were very glaring anomalies. It could never come together because one person had been groomed, told he is born to rule. I mean, the Fulani Hausa jihadists, they say they are born to rule. How can somebody say he is born to rule when, of course, you have different entities, different nationalities, different groups, different regions coming together? I mean, it should have been a case of a little to the right, a little to the left. This one has it now, that one has it there. But it wasn't that case. These people had been there back to back since independence. They've been there everly. It had been the North ruling. And when they think it's obvious enough, they pass the baton to the Southwest, and then back to the North, Southwest, back to the North. All this time, deliberately manipulating the Southeast, marginalizing the Southeast, deliberately preventing the Southeast from having any legitimate executive authority. Nnamdi Kanu said, look, enough is enough. You can't continue to treat my people like this. You don't treat them like people who don't have future, We have a great future. We have a great future. We have a great ambition. And we know our life is not cut out to end like this. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. Give these people their way. Give them their way. Give them their country if you don't need them. Otherwise, treat them good. Treat them with equality. Treat them with justice and fairness and equity. That is what Master Nnamdi Kanu told them, because he was bold to say, to tell the powers that be, because he was bold to proclaim this in the face of late PMB, President Muhammadu Buhari, because he told the Nigerians the truth. Unfortunately, they orchestrated all manners of wickedness towards him in a bid to grab him, in a bid to grip him, in a bid to annihilate him if they could. And so, as Nnamdi Kanu told Justice James Omotosho, enough is enough. I'm going to take the bulls by the horns. I'm going to call a spade by the spade. I'm going to insist that I stand for myself. Nobody should henceforth represent me. I'm not a lawyer, but I'm vast enough. I'm experienced enough to experience the glaring inequalities, the disadvantages my people are subjected to, the multiple taxations my people are forced to pay. I think it's enough. It's enough. It's enough. If you don't want us, let us go. The plight of the Biafrans were very, very clearly exposed to the world. And the Nigerian government hated them for this, because he dared to tell them the truth. He dared to expose them to the world. Ladies and gentlemen, I am very, very intensely unhappy with what is happening, especially in this continual mistrial of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. But let me just say it here. Ladies and gentlemen, let me say it here. Yes, let me say it here. Our maximum leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, has, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, on Tuesday made an emotional plea before the Federal High Court in Abuja. You know what he said? He was deliberately, sincerely, and passionately demanding, his immediate release, while insisting that he would not return to detention again. Ladies and gentlemen, this audio is the fact that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has insisted, I will release me. I will never return back to detention. Yes, maybe you want to listen to this. Maybe you didn't get it, but I'll tell you the truth about it. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, on Tuesday made an emotional plea before the Federal High Court in Abuja, demanding his immediate release, while insisting that he will not return to detention. Kanu, who is representing himself after sacking his legal team, addressed the court directly, stating, "Set me free. I will not go back to detention because there is no valid charge against me." Mazi Nnamdi Kanu maintained that his continued trial is baseless and violates both domestic law and international treaties. He argued that there is no existing charge known to Nigerian law that warrants his ongoing incarceration or prosecution. Ladies and gentlemen, the dramatic courtroom exchange came after the court overruled Kanu's no case submission and directed him, to either enter his defense or file a final written address. Instead, Kanu submitted a motion and affidavit insisting that the case lacks legal merit. Ladies and gentlemen, Mazi has always insisted, of course, there's no basis to try him. There's no laws in the land that is holding him. Because, of course, whatever they think they are using, whatever they're quoting, whatever they're using as points of contact or as legal opinions to continue to harass, intimidate, and try him, repealed laws have been abrogated way back. But of course, the Nigerian government is not done on this. It's not done on this. They're not done on this yet. Yeah, the Nigerian authorities said they are not done with this man. They're going to deal with him because the prosecuting counsel, Adegboyega Awomolo, Sam, ordered the court to treat Kanu's filings as his final written address and move to judgment. He accused the defendant of attempting to delay proceedings and manipulate the judicial process. However, Justice James Omotosho held that Kanu's documents would be considered during judgment and granted him additional time to either defend himself or properly consult legal experts. The matter was adjourned to November 5th, 2025, with the court warning that if Kanu fails to open his defense, he will be deemed to have waived his right to do so. Kanu has been in detention since June 2021 following his extraordinary rendition from Kenya. His trial continues to generate widespread national and international attentions. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, that's just the rhetoric. But the truth of the matter is that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu has stated loud and clear, he doesn't care what happens to him anymore. Because of course his health challenges, which he brought openly to the full glare of the government, to the full glare of the world, has been swept under the carpet. And the Nigerian government has continued to manipulate the whole process, manipulating his health, the health results. They brought in a Nigerian Medical Association, we have brought in a fake medical report. They settled doctors who said his health was not challenged. Till today, the gentleman is suffering from liver issues, from pancreas issues, and from everything about his health has torpedoed for the worst. He is living in pains, living in avoidable pains. And he applied to be taken to the National Hospital, Abuja. But of course, the same government spokesperson, the same counsel to the Nigerian government, the prosecuting counsel Adeboyega Awomolo Sam has always insisted that he knows Mazi better than any other person. That Mazi is a fraud, Mazi is a deceiver, Mazi is an orator who manipulates his audience. That of course Mazi's health is okay, nothing is wrong with him. He's just beating about the bush, trying to derail justice, trying to jump out of justice, trying to beat justice. He said Mazi is a secessionist, a terrorist that must not be spared. Of course, that's what the government told him to say. That's what he's doing for the government. But you have heard it loud and clear here. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu has told them, I am a free man. I don't have any case to answer. I'm not going back. I'm never going back to detention again. You should either do the needful. You should set me free because I won't return to detention. Nnamdi Kanu has insisted. Ladies and gentlemen, you might think this is a joke. You might think he's overshooting his bounds. You might think he's overplaying his freedom. But I'll tell you the truth. I'll tell you the truth. Nigerian government is playing the deaf ear. Nigerian government is playing the ostrich rather than face the monumental problem it has. Rather than take responsible decision about Mazen Nnamdi Kanu and free him. Free him today. They are busy using legal gymnastics. They are doing judicial acrobatics with the personality of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Just because he spoke the truth, just because he brought the plight of his people to the world. But I'll give them a breaking news. I will give them a breaking news this morning. The breaking news is no matter what the cabal is saying, no matter what Emilio is doing, no matter what the Nigerian judiciary that has become a mockery of itself, no matter what the judges are saying, I want to warn Justice James Omotosho, Justice James Kolawole Omotosho. You still have a little chance. You still have a little opportunity because in a very short while, history will come calling. In a very short while, history will come calling, and we will see, we'll know the truth about everything in Nigeria. Already, you know what is happening. The 45th and 47th president of the United States, Mr. Donald Trump, has declared Nigeria a country of particular interest. As if that is not enough, he has insisted that Nigeria, as a country of particular interest, has become a full country that is under the scrutiny of the United States, of the United States people, the United States Army, the United States Defense, and worldwide defense analysts. He has threatened that if Nigeria continues to do the part of this relentless, wicked, and undue respect for rule of law, yes, if Nigeria refuses to protect its own, guaranteeing freedom of right to religion and every other thing, they will be sorry. They will be sorry because in any moment from now, himself, the 45th and 47th president of the United States, would give the signal, and of course, there will be military action in Nigeria. It's not just going to come to the terrorists, no. It's going to go to the judicial officers, the judges who failed to act when action would have been simple and concise. It's going to hit the Nigerian government, the so-called executive that have connived with the judiciary and legislator and turned Nigeria into one-party state. It's going to hit them, all of those people, those shameless, bald-headed people who lift parties that they were elected on. They moved from those parties, truncated to the APC because, of course, they wanted to be bandwagons. They wanted to join Emilio in 2027. Everybody is running the rat race to make sure they belong. They belong in 2027. You have not finished 2025. You're thinking of 2027, and you call yourself a Democrat. You call yourself a seasoned Democrat. You call yourself a man who believes in the rule of law. You call yourself a man who knows his onions, and you are jumping from one party to another with reckless abandon. You don't care about the manifestos of your party. You don't care about the dictations of your party. You are elected from one party, you jump into the next party. That totally, is an evidence. And Nigeria is a failed country. Yes, it's an evidence. Nigeria is a rat race. It's an evidence, glaring evidence of what Mazen Nnamdi called the zoo country. Yes, Nigeria is a zoo. Nigeria is a shithole. Nigeria is fantastically corrupt. There's no kind of adjective that has not been used to describe Nigeria, because it has become completely a failed country. Ladies and gentlemen, Mazen Nnamdi has said it loud and clear. He has insisted, set me free now. I'm not going back to detention. And I want to tell the Nigerian people, I want to tell the powers that be today, if you don't do the right thing towards Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, a time will come, you start lying, you start begging, you start fidgeting the way they are fidgeting now, because Mr. Donald Trump has said he's sending his military to Nigeria because of this carnage on Christians, because of a daily slaughtering of Christians. Donald Trump has said, I'm sending Miami, we already watched, we've seen the roadmap. Google has showed us where they are. Google has showed us the sponsors of Boko Haram and terrorism. Google has showed us the funders. Google has told us the soldiers who are selling them ammunition. Google has showed us those who are financing them. We're going to get them. We're hitting them any moment from now. Because of this, ladies and gentlemen, Nigeria has become jittery. But of course, they're in denial. Every other day, if this special advisor on media, Bayo Onanuga, is not saying one thing, trying to debunk what Donald Trump has already known, claiming no Christian slaughtering, no, the terrorism is on both sides, everybody's being hit, blah blah blah. It's not a Christian thing. Don't be deceived by the Christian rhetorics. In fact, excuse me. In fact, they're even blaming it on Nnamdi Kanu. They say yes, it is Nnamdi Kanu publicists who are using this to deceive the American president. Because Nnamdi Kanu is a Christian, he's not even a Christian, he's a Jew. I mean, they're the ones who brought in this, so-called Christian attack and genocide. That is not true. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm still saying it here. Let's act while the opportunity is still very, very good for us to act, because there are things that are very avoidable. We have to be very, very careful. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu has insisted, set me free. I'm not going back to the DSS dungeon. I need my health to be taken care of. I have my family to be with. And of course, I have said it loud and clear. There's no case, there's no law, there's no existing law that is keeping me to be tried in any court of law, when already I've been duly acquitted by over 3 high court judges. Therefore, holding me is against the rule of law, against fairness, against equity, against justice. There's no living law in Nigeria that is holding me captive. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is a very profound statement. It's a powerful statement that eventually will haunt the Nigerian leadership. Yes, Emilio Khan is playing the deaf ears. Yes, all the southeastern governors are dancing to the gallery to impress Mr. Emilio Khan, the Jagapa. Yes, they think they have it today, but hey, nobody have tomorrow. You think you have it today? Do you have tomorrow? Ladies and gentlemen, Justice James Omotosho is continuing the matter today. He adjourned it to today, and they have told Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, you either defend yourself, or of course you'll be sorry. But of course, Nnamdi Kanu has insisted, Mr. James Omotosho, Justice, the truth of the matter is that no matter what you tell me, I stand on the truth. And the truth is that Nigerian government is holding me captive. There's no law that say you should keep a man who has been discharged and acquitted by 3 different high court judges, including the Supreme Court. You don't hold me captive against my wish. What you're doing is extrajudicial, and of course, it's totally anomalous in any judicial system, either locally or internationally. Set me free. Otherwise, you'll be sorry. I don't want to return to any detention in the DSS dungeon anymore. I want to go out and take care of my health. I want to go out, keep myself together. I want to be with my people. Period. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to pause it here. Let's see what happens today. The case continues. Let's see what the government prosecutor, the boy Womolowo, let's see what he's going to say. Yes, let's see what Amolowo will do. Let's see the abracadabra they will do. We're watching them. Everybody is watching them locally and internationally. It's all over the print media. It's all over the mass media. It's all over the social media. Americans are watching. The 45th and 47th president of America is watching. And we'll see President Tinubu when we get there. See you when we get there. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu may be an individual, but of course he represents millions of Biafrans that stand vigorously, that stand indefatigably behind him. Yes, it's not only Mazi Nnamdi Kanu that's on trial, it is the whole Biafrans. People of goodwill, people who love freedom, people who know their history, the people who know where the rain started beating them, and they know where the rain stopped beating them. We are Biafrans. We remain Biafrans, and we are resolutely Biafrans. We don't owe anybody any apology. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has said it, and that is where we stand. Set me free. Set me free. I'm not returning to the DSS dungeon. The choice is yours. Act now and be free. Act now and be safe, or forever be sorry. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. God bless the redeclared United States of Biafra. God bless you all. Freedom lovers, men and women of goodwill. Well, let us see how it goes today. I promise you, less than a few hours from now, we'll come back and see what Justice James Omotosho will do. We'll see what Adegboyega Awomolo, the chief counsel to the Nigerian government, the prosecutor, let us see what they'll do. Let us see the kind of judgment they'll give. The whole world is watching. The whole world is watching. American drones are all over the place, even inside the courts. Let's see how it goes. God bless you, ladies and gentlemen. Until I come your way again. Bye-bye. God bless. Have a great day.